Okay, so we've got Brayden Schenn for a first, a third, and a prospect. Jonathan Drouin will also be a part of that package. So that's Schenn to the Islanders for a first, a third, and a prospect. Jonathan Drouin going back as a part of that package to St. Louis. By the way, the prospect is Marcus Gridloff. Not a name that I'm particularly familiar with.
Give me a sec.
But it's an interesting thing because the ask price for Brayden Schenn when he was rumored to be coming to Toronto was a first, a second, a third, and a prospect. And we were like, holy mother of God, that's a lot. And it's funny, a year later, even in a down season, Doug Armstrong's able to get a first, a third, and a prospect. So it's just shy of what he was asking for before, which kind of matches the season Schenn's having.
Marcus Gidloff is a 2024 fifth-round pick goaltender who has a 9-15 record for Leksands in Sweden. This year, Leksands is really, really, really not good. So take his 8.96 save percentage with a grain of salt.
Okay, Jesse. Brayden Schenn, as a part, Andre Palat, Carson Soucy, all members now of the New York Islanders, a surprise team. They were a surprise to be the first overall pick. It was surprising how great Matthew Schaefer's been. It's not really surprising how good Ilya Sorokin's been. He's been great for a long time, just on some bad teams.
Yes.
I think that Matthew Darche and probably Doug Armstrong, the principal players in this trade, have had the two best deadlines in the league.
The best deadlines? Is that what we're
I think so.
They had the complete opposite deadline that I predicted at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I predicted that they would be in the mix, but if they chose to be sellers, they could be the biggest sellers in the league. And then Matthew Schaefer arrives and goes, "Sorry, buddy, flipping the script here."
Yeah, I mean, Darche has tried to make the team better, is my point. And
totally. big time.
You know, and we haven't yet seen anything from Pittsburgh, so I'm reserving judgment. But I'm looking at who they're competing with, and Darche, I think, understands that you got to have. You got to get ahead of Pittsburgh because you got Columbus nipping at your heels, and chances are you fall out of that third spot where the Islanders are perilously close to doing. 3 points separating them from Columbus, guys. You're not in the playoff picture.
No. Kind of an important aspect of this trade is the Islanders actually don't take on that much money this year and next, because Brayden Schenn makes 6.5, obviously this year and for the next 2 years. Jonathan Drouin makes 4 this year and next.
Oh,
so that, even if Brayden Schenn somewhat underachieves, yes, it's a $6.5 million cap hit, but it's like retaining without retaining,
right?
If that makes sense. Now, obviously, you do lose the player with Drouin, but he hasn't had the greatest season. 55 games played, 3 goals, 18 assists, 21 points. Brayden Schenn, 12 goals, 16 assists, 28 points, and also is Brayden Schenn. Plays the middle, has won a cup. Yes, that was now coming up on 7 years ago.
But still won one.
Hockey guys love that stuff.
So you've got...
So Adam, you say he's got the best deadline.
I think those two did, yeah.
He's made only one move today. So this move pumps him into...
I counted like the Palat and Soucy deals. Maybe I shouldn't.
Okay.
They were done like a month ago.
That was like January.
I know, but it would have been later,
Best
Jesse,
winter?
if it wasn't for the Olympics.
Best winter?
That's why you threw me off with this thing about the best. Right. You made one deal today.
Okay, I'm merely speaking as I'm taking it as since 2026 because I think February totally screws us all up. If you were to take those trades and include them, given what he gave up, which in this Schenn deal is a lot, he still does get 2 more years of Schenn. Callum Ritchie has been his second-line center this year, and in 46 games has 16 points. Perhaps that's too much to ask from him right now.
It is.
And you've got Pajot, so you've got Horvat, Schenn, and Pajot down center, and I think that makes a heck of a lot more sense, especially if you're going to play the Pittsburgh Penguins, who it looks like they might play, and Crosby and Malkin may not be fully healthy.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a fun time for anyone playing the Islanders. This really solidifies them up the middle.
I think the Islanders are so much further ahead of the curve than anybody thought they would be, and this is the right thing to do at this moment. You should capitalize on the good team that you have, because it's not like they had to tear everything down to the studs and rebuild everything. Like Barzal is still there, Horvat Horvat's still there. Everybody that they've had from their really good teams, Anders Lee and Pajot, who you already mentioned, like those guys are there, and they took a little bit of a step back, but now they're kind of fine again, and they've been playing great all season. And to your point about adding Palat and now Schenn and Carson Soucy, now you're filling in the gaps that you kind of lost in the down years, and now you're just a solid, good team again. It is very good work.
It's hard to believe, too, that they sold Noah Dobson.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
that's part of the reason I thought they were going to end up where they did.
Well, I think everybody did, Steve. And
or where I thought they were. Definitely not where they did.
What's important, and I don't expect people to know this because unless you're following hockey with a microscope, you're not going to know which AGMs started where. But Matthew Darche trained under Yzerman and then Brisebois in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yzerman and Brisebois put that team together. Brisebois executed and won all those cups. I mean, this is a guy that to keep an eye on. This might be one of the next hot young general managers in the NHL. And I don't even know how old he is, but like young is a relative term when we're talking about NHL GMs. I just look at this and I think, oh, by the way, also Chris Johnson just announced right now, Jean-Gabriel Pajot has signed a 3-year extension with the Isles at $4.85 million. So they are
Lovely
deal together.
That's
Lovely
actually a decrease in pay.
It is.
He's making $5 million right now.
I believe it's called a structured dismissal. I'm kidding.
JG Pajot, 55 games this season, 14 goals, 15 assists, 29 points, and is JG Pajot. That's a good player, man.
They're gonna be a pest in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're not an easy out, and I think if they get the Penguins, they have a series that they think they can win.
I hope it is Islanders Penguins because every division has their own style of play. This is a Metro Division series built in a lab. And I don't know how to describe it, but I think it's going to be the face wash Olympics. Like these guys are going to beat the crap out of each other after every whistle. And it's going to be them skating each other into the dirt.
Before we get to the St. Louis side of this, one more thing on the Islanders. You know what's interesting? The Islanders, let's say yes, thank you. Let's say the Islanders get through Pittsburgh. Okay?
Sure.
Let's just say. Now, you never want to bet against Crosby in the playoffs.
No, you don't.
But let's say that you said underrated pain in the ass. You know who didn't do anything today, at least from what we've seen?
So far.
Carolina Hurricanes. Who are
I'm shocked,
They're most likely second round person because they always make the second round. And I like this Islanders team and the way they would match up, in theory, against those Carolina Hurricanes. I like that a lot.
And like I talk about the down years of the Islanders and they're being able to bridge this gap here. The down years, quote, I'm doing air quotes for anybody listening, are losing 2 times to the Carolina Hurricanes in the first round.
Right.
That's the team that they're trying to overcome to get better. You know, you miss the playoffs, I think it is, and then you lose 2 times to the Hurricanes, and then you miss the playoffs again, and then now it looks like they'll be back again. And those are your opponents. You're going up against Pittsburgh. You'll probably face the Carolina in the next round, and I think they are primed well to hang in a series against them.
Yeah,
I don't think they should be scared at all about making the conference finals out of that division.
I think it's actually really great.
It's very doable.
So long story short, not bad. Now let's move over to, and this is a really important one, the St. Louis Blues side of this thing. There's other Blues moves to talk about. We're obviously going to talk about it on our live stream, but for right now, the first round pick in 2026 that the Blues received was from Colorado. That is part of the Callum Ritchie trade from last year.
Yes.
So that's the lower of the two because Colorado's obviously having an incredible year. And the third round pick, we know that there's a Justin Falk trade to talk about where they also got a first and a third. But that's some pretty good asset accumulation by Mr. Doug Armstrong.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You know my sour view on him mostly has to do with, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. And then he does this, and it's like, well, he did something. And I'm like, man, we could have had Parayko. We could have had Thomas. We could have had so many other fun things.
How many times have they tried to trade Kyrou?
Oh, my gosh. And this Brayden Schenn one, I'm still only giving you part marks because it's a year late. But, yes, it is a good return.
Yeah, I think it's it kind of sets them up perfectly. Obviously, they're going to have to make good on the draft picks or deal them for the right players if that's what they want to do. Because, again, to me, I'm trying to figure out St. Louis's direction. I remember a couple years ago, they were out of the playoffs and then tried to get Timo Meier, and he ended up with the Devils. I think that the Kyrou Thomas years are over. I don't think that they see this. I think, listen, they tried to trade both of them multiple times. I feel like they have decided they're over.
Off-season thing?
Off-season thing. And is this a full rebuild?
I mean, would you trade your captain?
Yeah.
But you still have Parayko. The problem is all these no moves, right? Because he would have moved Parayko if he could. Parayko
Absolutely.
said no.
Yeah, Thomas, no move. Bushnevis, no move. Cairo, no move.
Like, you almost wonder if part of getting these guys to waive their no move is making the team as bad as possible. And one way to do that is, I don't know, let's trade the captain.
I still feel like there's so much young, good talent there that could be something. Like Neighbors and Snuggerud and Dylan Holloway. Like, there's a tough forward, too. And Broberg on the back end that you did the offer sheet for. Like, I feel like there's pieces, and if you have Thomas and Cairo there who are in their mid-20s, you're not far off.
No.
I would, if I'm Doug Armstrong, I don't want to tear it down to the studs.
So so then here's the other question. We've heard it so many times that Doug Armstrong is probably out after this season because either his contract is up or they're ready a season early for Steen. People are starting to talk like it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to be in Toronto.
Well,
we don't know that for sure.
The plan was originally that he would move into the president role. Like, he wasn't going to leave the organization or retire. It'd be Steed gets GM and he gets into this executive suite.
Right.
You know? So maybe that changes.
Okay.
Who knows?
I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting. And maybe with Steen taking over, their views on Cairo and Thomas trade change because, hey, it's not easy to find players like that. That's why the prices for them were so high. Yeah. So anyway, long story short, that is the St. Louis Blues and the New York Islanders doing some business here. Schenn, the first, the third, the prospect. Drouin is also a part of that. And SDPN's trade deadline coverage will continue. We have another Blues deal to talk about. And don't forget, live stream at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard on the SDPN YouTube channel. Hey, did you like the thing you just watched?
Was it hilarious?
Was it informative?
Was it me losing my mind?
Possibly. Potentially. Most of the time it is. Hey, listen, if you like what SDPN has to offer, you should check out more of our videos and subscribe to our channel by clicking subscribe, or Steve will find you.